dive right into something that I've been doing for a little bit now. This is an adapter for Spectra filters to fit onto Sx70 cameras. This is going to be the pull up type, so like this is my Model 1 Alpha 1. You can see it's already on there. I'm going to do a little demonstration how it works. But basically what it does, it clips on behind the little lens plate and it goes in front, and when you have the adapters like this, here's one of the ones from the Spectra set. It usually looks like this. Comes in a little case like this. I believe it's called the Polaroid Spectra filters effects or something of that nature. They do have numbers. This one is F104, and basically what it does is it just slides on top here and just sits pretty smoothly. It does have a little bit of play, but I mean, if you were to push it down, I'm sure if you were to put it upside down, it would come out. But this just kind of helps for accessibility if you wanted to swap in and out of filters. And same with this, there's a little bit of play. This file is actually, if you wanted to make it, this is 3D printed. I'm going to put a link down in the description for the STL file. If you have your own 3D printer, you can just print one of these yourself, and then get the filters, and then you're pretty much good to go. But there's a little bit of play here, and the file that's on Thingiverse doesn't have a shutter release. We're going to see if we can update it or do something else, but for the time being there is no shutter release, but we'll work on that. Okay, so back to this. One of the cool things about this that's even better than the Spectra camera when it came out is that since this camera is an SLR, since it does go down the lens, you do get to see the effects straight in the viewfinder. So pretty much you'll see exactly what it's going to look like before you do it, so you can compose accordingly. I think when the Spectra came out, this just went on top of the lens but not in the viewfinder. I think it wasn't like a not a direct path or like SLR like this, so you kind of had to guesstimate. But with the Spectra or with Sx70 film or Sx70 cameras, you don't have to make that same guess. You know exactly what you're going to do, and you can compose accordingly. Here's an example picture I'd taken with one of the little Funko Pops. You can see, I believe this is one of the other filters. This one is F105. So you can see that it kind of has that cool kaleidoscope effect. You can see it in my eye. And it'll do that to the images. I really like this little thing because it does expand your horizons. The Spectra effects thing came with 5 filters. So there's this one, which was the F105, which is a little kaleidoscope. There is the F101, which kind of has like a blurred effect, and then just like a regular raw image. It's kind of cool. You can use these to your favor. Probably my least favorite, this is the bread bag chip, little bread clip, I guess. It's supposed to be a red transparent thing, and then just the regular one. When I looked up the manual, it says like to show intensity, or like, I don't know. I wasn't really fond of this one, but it came in the set. So this one is F103, which has a little grid effect. I think this one does like a retro lens flare. I'm not too sure. I haven't really used this one yet, but this one's definitely a cool one to add to the little collection. And let's see. And then there's obviously the F104, which is that little 3-piece grid. But it's very cool that you can just put this on top of your camera. I did see some people telling me that you can also use, if you have it, the close-up lens for this that sits on the little flash right here. There's an attachment, and each your own. I'm not saying there's any other good way or bad way. I think they're just about the same, but the cool difference between this mount and that little close-up thing, the little close-up, I'll try to put a picture of it somewhere, but is that it needs a flash port to put that mount on. And the cameras that I mostly use are Polaroid 680s or the Sx70 sonar. So this mount is going to fit just across the board, considering it doesn't need this little mount or anything. So you can just pop it on and you're pretty much cool. It does sit nice and flush under the sonar. Even if you put the little thing, it doesn't affect the sonar at all. So you can just swap it in, and it sits right below it perfectly. I've tested it out myself and no issues. That's how I took that first picture. And so yeah, this is a cool project. that I think more people should look into. It's going to expand your horizons. I know Mint has their own lens set, but I'm not really not really big fan of it. And if you already have these resources, you can just pretty much, we don't have to make any more things. We can just use the existing things, considering Spectra film had been discontinued. And so you're gonna see a lot of these little filter sets out in the market, and you're gonna get them much cheaper than when Spectra film was out and available, or even it's still available, but wasn't as prevalent, I guess. Not many people are, getting into it considering the film's getting discontinued. But that's pretty much it with the project. I do have other cameras that I'm gonna get into in the coming few days. I do have the lomography spinner. I have my what's this little camera called? I would move it. I do have the Olympus Mu 2, or so this Olympus Stylus Epic I picked up recently. So expect some really good quality videos off of those. But yeah, it feels good to make videos again and just talk with you guys about stuff and share some of the stuff that I've been doing. So there's an STL file so you can download and 3D print this yourself. If you have a 3D printer, if you know somebody with one. If you don't, you can probably find somebody locally in your area that does it. Or there's probably services out there that'll print them out. Check out my Instagram if you haven't already. Aim Shoot Develop by the same page. If this is your first time finding one of my videos, check out any of the other videos. And like this video if you like the creativity and just trying out different things. That's pretty much it. Keep shooting film. Take care. Peace.